Justin Hawkins writes again. Good day to you, it is I, Justin Hawkins, wearing a preposterous, what started off as a bean hat has now bunched at the top and now it looks like an acorn. I'm still going to wear it because, you know, why not? Today is one of my favourite days of all. By the way, this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Like, subscribe, and also click that one that gives you notifications when I do a new post, because then you'll be informed and alerted. And if you know, I think we try and put these out at the same time on the days that we do put them out, so it could become part of your daily ritual. Just listening to me whittling on about music. It's brilliant stuff. So anyway, today I'm doing another comments reaction video. My producer has collated the comments as per last time, and I'm just going to go through them and react to as many as I can during the time that we have. Oh, just to let you know, I'm also going to do a public live stream on Sunday the 16th of January at 9 PM GMT, whatever that corresponds to in your respective time zones. It's a little bit like a podcast, but it's just me and my friend Pat Carty, who's a brilliant Irish music writer. We do this kind of live. We used to do live streams on Instagram, but then now it's on my Patreon. But we're going to do a public one. I don't know what's going to happen because none of it's scripted or anything like that. We just sit and talk, and you can react and comment, and we'll try and get a conversation going on the night. So that's Sunday, something to look forward to. I'm sure you'll agree. Let's get into these comments. Okay, so. The video that I did that was called "You've Lost Your Mind," reacting to your criticisms. Somebody called Will Pat said, you didn't react to any criticism. You just read comments that suit your bitter old man dialogue. Okay, the first thing I'm going to say is that dialogue is, the definition of dialogue is it's a conversation between two or more voices. Whereas when I'm doing these things, it's a monologue because it's just me talking to a camera. So that word's wrong. In fact, I think what you're trying to say is that it suits my bitter old man narrative. Perhaps that's what you meant. So this is me being constructive to the criticism. I think I've always welcomed criticism. As I've said before, I think reverence is a dangerous thing in music, and if you don't like something, you really ought to speak up, because that's what I do. And yeah, I'm not, I suppose I'm old. I might be older than you, Will. I don't know how old you are. I'm 46 years old. I don't think I am bitter. But yes, thank you for your input. I love you, and I hope you keep coming back. JC Fontaine said about the same video, something about you I just really like. I don't care if you don't like Bring Me the Horizon. You're highly likable. Well, likable, that's something, some people see likable as a criticism as well. In therapy, I was once told that by the preeminent therapist of the facility that I was attending, he looked at me and said, you're very likable, aren't you? Like that's a bad thing. Maybe it is, I don't know. Regardless, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, JC Fontaine, I appreciate it. Okay, so on the same video, Badger Jamies, it's got two E's between the M and the S, says, personally, I don't like the darkness. The squealing voice of Hawkins is just horrid. And yet, I think the thing about bands in general, what I'm noticing is like the very thing that one person dislikes is the thing that another person loves, you know? And I think if you attend a Darkness concert, you'll find that most people in the room really appreciate how consistent and powerful my squealing voice is in the room, you know, like live. I think it's pretty impressive for most people, and if you are there, you might be the only person in the room that doesn't feel that way. And considering how mainstream some of your tastes appear to be, that might be a new experience for you. So I recommend you come and see The Darkness. It might afford you the personal growth that you're seeking here on the internet. Okay. So on the video that's called "Apparently This Is Rock, What Have We Become?" ? Daz Patreg has said he's like some strange chimera between Russell Brand, Stephen Toast and Rick Beato. 3 characters I'm going to describe them as, because I think whatever you see of these three individuals. I mean, Stephen Toast is a fictional character, so in the purest sense, a character. Russell Brand, I'm sure that there's a lot more happening beneath the facade that he presents, and I think he's a brilliant person. And Rick Beato has a great mind and is clearly the best in this business. He's an inspiration to us all. So those are three characters that I am so happy to be mentioned in the same sentence as. So thank you very much, Daz Petrek. I appreciate it. NKT Design says, I only stumbled upon this channel yesterday, and after watching 2 videos, I now have a completely new respect for J-Dog Hawkins. And although I'm not a homosexual, I'm pretty sure I'm in love with him. Great content and a great person. Yeah, I don't know about that love thing. I think maybe it's one of those sort of spiritual oneness loves where you recognise that I'm a human being, and as such, we're all in this together, aren't we? And also, I love you too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Keep coming back. Lisa Gilbert Bell, I don't know which video she put this on, but she says, don't let the fuckers get you down. It's been very enjoyable and interesting listening to what you have to say. Thank you, Lisa. I think at the beginning, I was thrilled to see any engagement with what I'm doing here. And I think largely there's a lot of positivity, and actually there's a lot of debate, which is what I'm hoping to encourage, really. I like it when people disagree with what I'm saying in a constructive way. And I also like it when people agree with what I'm saying in a constructive way, because that gives my ego a little boost. And I suppose the idea that fuckers get me down, it only gets me down when I think it bleeds into areas of my life that aren't really up for discussion. This is actually a music channel about reacting to songs in their own right, nothing whatsoever to do with the context of those songs as they sit in the oeuvre of the band or artist in question. It's really just about how the music makes me feel, and looking at what's under the hood and trying to understand why it makes me feel the way it does. And I don't know, you know what I'm doing here. But the idea of fuckers getting me down, you needn't worry about that. I'm here to stay, because, fuckers will always be fuckers, And I always think that if you're triggering something, that's probably a good thing, isn't it? It means there's a connection of some sort, whether it inspires positivity or negativity, it's landing, and that's the important thing. So thanks, Lisa. Brendan Milbourne says, the master of saying things are shit without saying they're shit. Yeah, but I don't think I actually think things are shit. I always try and present a nuanced and balanced analysis. I mean, there are some things that I think ring fake within the stuff that I'm listening to, and I don't think that's exclusively new music that I find that with. It's always been the case. You listen to something and you can definitely detect plagiarism or like tropes that just ring insincere, and I'll say that when that happens. But at the same time, there's always going to be something about the way a melody interacts with the chords that is interesting, and it's usually about intervals and stuff that I don't actually have the vocabulary for. I mean, I recognise that a lot of the time I'm saying things about modes and scales that are actually wrong. I'm using the wrong terminology, but I think you know what I mean. It's always about interesting intervals and the sort of emotional reaction that hearing those things triggers. But yeah, so occasionally I think if you're looking for the positives, then yeah, that's all I can do, really, isn't it? John Miller says, the jingle is the most annoying thing on the internet. I refer you to my earlier remark about how annoying stuff tends to be the thing that other people love. Being divisive is the secret to all success, I think. Because the next person, the Aaron Free DG, says the theme tune is flawless. Although it seems like John Miller's comment about it being the most annoying thing on the internet has got 2 thumbs up, and the flawless one has 0. So I think John's winning on this one. XX Non-Stop Dancing XX has said, why haven't I liked or subscribed? Discuss. I will. perhaps you're waiting for, maybe you just don't like being told what to do. Like when I do my housekeeping at the beginning and I encourage you to like and subscribe, I'm a little bit contrary like that as well. Like I just won't do it. I think you should hold on to that rebellious streak and watch whatever you like to watch, like whatever you like, subscribe to whatever you wish to subscribe to. I applaud it. It's good to be your own person. I've always lived in that way, and I just, when I see somebody else doing it as well, I just can do nothing but respect it. So thank you, XX Non-Stop Dancing XX. Keep coming back if you like, or don't. Do whatever you like. Matt Mitchell, let's be clear. Puns are the lowest form of wit. Leave sarcasm alone. Hey, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah, punning does inspire the most in terms of a groan, you know, like when you hear a pun, it's like, no. But often that's because I wish I'd thought of it, or maybe it's because that feeling that you've walked into something and allowed somebody the opportunity to do a pun. It's always almost like a personal attack, isn't it, a pun? I quite enjoy puns. Sarcasm, I think sarcasm's a defense mechanism often, and also a good way out, because things look different written down. I've noticed that about my own interviews. Like a lot of the inference in the things I'm saying is lost, because when you just see the written word, you don't see the things that I don't say. On this, of course, you do. So it's an interesting take, Matt. I'm going to think about that more carefully. Thank you. Right then, so responding to the method blank video, that was the one where I was just trying to be nice. Nico Kuzan says, what's wrong with being sexy? Which is an excellent reference to some of the dialogue. What's your name again? Will Pat. The dialogue in This Is Spinal Tap, when they're accused of being sexist because of the cover art on Smell the Glove. And then Nigel Tufnell says, what's wrong with being sexy? Brilliant. So an excellent reference, and I hear what you're saying. It's good stuff.
Well, so what? Yeah. But what's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no
Sexist.
Phil Sinclair says, this is like your teacher at school telling you your work is shit with a positive supporting tone. Yeah, Phil, I would say that's exactly what it's like, because, I don't know, I've been doing music professionally since about 1996 or 7, in various different forms. I was doing like soundtracks and, you know, a lot of adverts and things like that before the darkness. I'm not educated in composition and music in the same way that perhaps someone like Rick Beato is, but I think I know what I'm talking about based on experience and emotions and how it makes me feel. I also know how it feels to be coming up and getting things wrong, and you know, everybody makes mistakes, and myself included. I'm still making them now, but that's how you learn, I think. And unless you have a supporting tone to accompany it, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So on that "Be Nice, at least they took the video down" video. The Only Red Special said, I feel like I'm sitting in a beach hut in the Bahamas watching these. It's like a college professor analysing a porn movie. All right. I just think that this is culture, you know, this is art. There's always going to be a temptation to dismiss it because it's somebody else's vision. But when you try and look under the hood and see what it is that they're trying to say and what they're trying to do, it's always a worthwhile process, I think. Because the idea of a song begins as a raindrop, and you're holding it in your hand. You're walking through a desert, and you're just hoping that it doesn't evaporate and turn into something else. Now, everybody's process is different. The route that you take through the desert varies depending on who you are, your experiences, and you know, things like your work ethic and your education. All this stuff determines how you get that from A to B. Now, what's happened, I think, in some of those videos that I discussed on the Be Nice movie, something's gone wrong between A and B, and we're just trying to establish what that is. It isn't necessarily that the raindrop is poisonous in the first place. The fact of the matter is they've taken the trouble to realise the idea. And I'm just here to help, really, in those instances. Be nice. At least they took the video down. Garbarek says the irony of referencing Michael Hutchence during a video for a song that seems to be about BDSM is not lost on me. Good eyes, Garbarek. 1078. It just shows you that everything's connected, isn't it? We're all connected. That's why this is important. I mean, this particular segment is important. Yeah, thanks for that. You're a clever man. Keep coming back. Eskimo Coolboy comments. OT.OSS says, Venga Boys at worst. How dare you, sir? How dare you? I'm not sure if you're defending Venga Boys or the genre that I was discussing. I'm not a huge Venga Boys enthusiast, I'll say that. I think you hear things like that is a trope that's been borrowed, in fact exploited, stolen even from Motown. And when you put it in something which has absolutely no soul, it disgusts me. And so yes, Venga Boys at worst, I stand by it. William Powell, I hate any comedy music. The only exception is Flight of the Conchords. Yeah, Flight of the Conchords, I think the thing that separates them from other artists in the comedy realm is how brilliant their lyrics are, and actually how it works as, you know, just as a piece of written prose before you even put the music on. And there's something really funny about the two characters that do it. There's good and bad in every genre. I think comedy rock is no exception. I really appreciate your comments. I hope that I've answered them accordingly. And I'm going to do this every week because there's obviously a lot to be said. Justin, wait a minute. Here we go, I'll just turn it up. Justin Hawkins rides again. Or, alternatively, Justin Hawkins rides again. Like, subscribe, sign up for the alerts, and watch one of these two videos. It's the rabbit hole, baby. Embrace it. See you on the ice.